Non-religious practices. Such mind-numbing contradictions are overlooked when it comes to anything except Christianity. True biblical Christianity is continually under fire from all sides, but any other, quote, faith, end quote, including a false and ecumenical Christianity, is accepted no matter how absurd and contradictory its doctrines and practices. Consider the following, quote, "The heart of the true Hindu goes out to the man on the cross, who exclaimed even at that hour, 'Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.' The true Hindu is all admiration for the great prophet of Arabia, Muhammad, who literally transformed a barbaric people into a well-knit moral society. But he can never tolerate the small-minded fanatics who try to poo-poo every other faith." End quote. Irrational though it may be, it is acceptable that all religions are embraced by Hinduism and deemed to be compatible with one another and with yoga, even though they contradict one another on the most basic points. Hinduism has more than 300 million gods. Islam declares that Allah is, quote, "the only God," end quote, and Buddhism is basically atheistic. Yet they are all embraced by the yogi. All major religions claim to honor, quote, "Christ," end quote, yet all deny Christ's claims about himself. Evangelical Christians are, quote, "small-minded fanatics," end quote, because they believe Christ's declaration, quote, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me," end quote, John 14:6. In their zeal to, quote, "extol," end quote, Jesus along with every other prophet, they reject what he actually declared in the most direct terms. This is neither rational nor honest. And this ecumenical double talk even claims that Jesus himself taught and practiced yoga. For that absurd claim, there is not one scintilla of biblical or historical evidence, but that fact seems to trouble no yoga enthusiast. Basketball coach Phil Jackson was applauded for turning the Chicago Bulls headquarters into a sacred repository of fetishes and totems and introducing his entire team to Eastern mysticism. Newsweek referred favorably to Jackson as the man who brought Zen principles to bear in coaching the Chicago Bulls to 3 consecutive NBA championships. The article lauded Jackson for accomplishing, quote, "one of the more daunting challenges in the history of religion," end quote. It would have been another story had he indoctrinated his team with Christianity. Had that occurred, it would have been soundly condemned by the media and the NBA. Yet this discriminatory abuse of Christianity, this blatant prejudice against the biblical Christ is approved, while Christians who seek to follow Christ and to be true to his clear teachings are maligned as narrow-minded. The laws in, quote, "Christian," end quote, America have almost completely banned Christianity from public arenas, yet at the same time all other religions are accepted. This almost universal attitude is not only irrational, but reveals a deep prejudice against Christianity that begs an explanation. "Methinkest thou protesteth too loudly," certainly applies in this case. Such universal protest, which at times becomes hateful, vicious, and violent, and has produced not only the crucifixion of Christ, but literally millions of Christian martyrs through the centuries, can hardly be a chance reaction. There must be some purpose and power behind it.